Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of mine in which we continue our journey to configure Business Central. Today we will be talking about posting groups. Posting groups are an essential part of configuration, and posting groups, to give you a little bit of a context, it is a way to automatically map entities like customers, vendors, items, sales orders, purchase orders to GL accounts. And when we talk about mapping entities in a consulting world, that basically means creating a linkage between different application areas like customers and vendors to general ledger. Hence, in order for you to actually do posting groups and set them up or configure posting groups, you need to have chart of accounts. And in my previous video, I have shown you how to set up chart of accounts. So when sales and purchases and other transactions are recorded and posted where specific GL account is not specified directly, then the posting groups provide a mapping to the credit account. So that's basically a sophisticated way of saying what we have said to create a linkage between a vendor or a customer to a general ledger account. So there are two major types of posting groups, general posting group and specific posting group. For you to know or figure out how to set them up or look for them, you basically go to the search button, which is our best friend at the moment because it gives you all the things that you need to navigate in Business Central. So as you can see, there's general product posting group and general posting setup, which we won't use because we don't need to. I'll teach you another way to actually set up or configure posting groups, and then there's general business posting groups. And there's a specific posting group which I will also touch on, which is basically vendors and customers and items. So there's this different layer of posting groups, but the two major ones are general posting group and the specific posting group. That's what they're called. So general posting groups are added to customers, vendors, items, and resources to link item and other resource transaction from purchases and sales documents to general ledger. So I will show you how to set that up. So if you want to just think in terms of very simple terminology, general business posting group specifies who we sell to. So this would be customers, and who we buy from, which would be vendors. And general product posting group specifies what we sell, which are the items in this case, and what we buy are the items from vendors. So you would assign business posting groups to customers and vendors. So before you set up groups, you should consider two things. How many groups you need for breaking down sales by customers, and how many groups you need for breaking down purchases by vendors. So let us go right into general business posting groups and see how we can set them up. So this is Cronus Canada. And in your case, as I have said in my earlier videos, you will have nothing here because we started out with a no data company. So no transactions, no setup, and no financial data associated with any of this environment. So you will set up a new group. In this case, I will use Cronus Canada because I do not want to create new or disturb any of the sandbox environment that I have. So we will go with this for now. So you can have a code as domestic as what Cronus Canada has, or you can talk to your client and verify what groups you need in order, and based on their business model and business function, you would need to come up with the groups. So in this case, domestic is usually widely known and used. So we can create a code as domestic, you can give it a description, and you can go to setup. So in this setup, as you can see, there are a bunch of different accounts that needs to get hit once we assign this to a vendor or a customer. So you can further group these based on different categories. So in Cronus Canada, they have miscellaneous, they have no tax to some customers, it's a retail or a service they're providing, and they have different sales account. Sales account is the major account that needs to get hit. Other accounts, if there is no account in chart of accounts, then you can skip those and the system would allow you to go and configure. But this whole exercise requires an huge interaction with the client. So as you can see, there are so many more accounts that you can link as you go deep further into configuration. But in our case, we will only focus on just the sales account, which is right here. So if I go to chart of accounts, 44100 is a sales retail domestic account. And once you select that, it will show up here. And basically that's how you do general posting setup. And you just save and exit. Now we're gonna go to vendors and we're gonna assign this posting group to a vendor. So let's do that. So you're gonna create a vendor obviously here. You shouldn't have any vendors according to our base case scenario that we have set up in the first video. So you create a vendor just with their name. So assuming I created this vendor, I have given a number which we discussed, number series. So you should have assigned number series and this should get populated by itself. You give it a name, give an address if you really want to, and this is where the business posting groups are happening. So this is Fabricam Inc. We have assigned general business posting group as domestic. So you can also see the categories that it has as European or customers and vendors in Europe, and export as other customers and vendors. So in our case, it is a domestic. So we shall select domestic. And this is vendor posting group. So in our case, this would be empty also. So for us to create a vendor posting group, we will go to vendor posting group, go select the full list, create vendor posting group, have a code, description, and a payables account. So in this case, the 22,300 is the payables account for the domestics. So as you can see, this is how you can configure, and 22,300 is right here. It's a vendor's domestic account. So that's how you configure posting groups. And the other accounts, they have to come from your client. They have to help you to understand their business model and understand what accounts are being hit. So that you can fill out as you sit down with your client and discuss. And when you press OK, then you have your business posting group set up. So the value of this is basically when you make a purchase order or when you make a payment, then these posting groups are the one that will hit those accounts. So for instance, if you make a payment towards a purchase that you've done with a vendor and you issue that payment, then the account here that is being hit 22,300, I believe, that will show a transaction that you made a payment to this vendor. So that's the value of posting groups. So with that, I am going to move on to my next video, and thank you for sticking around.